Hi guys, and welcome to Euro Car Show. Today I'm in the new Lexus NX 300h, and well, H stands for hybrid, and hybrid this car is. This is a car I didn't really want to drive at first because, well, I don't think it fits in Lexus lineup. I mean, this is more of a smaller SUV. After driving the RX 200T and 450h and so on, I was pretty convinced this car would be, well, terrible. But I'm happy to say I was wrong. Let's start with the design. As you could see in the montage at first, well, the car looks pretty nice. I especially like the front. It's very Lexus-y. But to be honest with you, I'm not really digging the back. Some people do. I don't like it very much. I prefer the back of the RX and, well, to be honest, pretty much all of their cars but this one. But you know, styling is about personal taste, so I'm not really gonna discuss that. But I cannot mention the outside without actually mentioning the size of the car, because some people, well, they might be worried that this car is too big or hard to park in town and so on. As you guys know, I live in Brussels and it's pretty crowded. It's not easy at all to find a parking spot, and with this one, I didn't have any trouble. It honestly doesn't feel big. It feels big from the inside, but when you're driving it and you actually see where you can fit it in town and so on, it's like basically any regular crossover. The interior, well, it's all Lexus, and so far I haven't been disappointed by any of their interiors. I think they're very well made, well insulated. You get lots and lots of options, and overall, it's just a nice place to be, no matter if you buy this one or the RX or any of their models. So that's what's good about Lexus. It always makes you feel good. Interior wise, you feel like you've spent your money on something that's gonna last longer than a couple years. But honestly, we're not on this channel to talk interior design or exterior design. Let's talk about specs. This car has about 200 horsepower. It's a hybrid. It comes with the 2.5 liter engine that Lexus has all across their fleet. It's very good. Is it fast? No. About 9 seconds to 100 kilometers per hour. It is all-wheel drive, connected to the CVT gearbox, so yeah, very smooth to drive, very easy to drive, and frankly, for a fairly sized SUV, especially with all-time all-wheel drive, this car is relatively economical. They say in town it's gonna take about 7 liters per 100 kilometers. In my experience, it's, well, more like 8, sometimes a bit more if you're punching it, but if you remain conservative, you can probably get just under 8, which honestly is fine, because this is not a small car, so you cannot expect this car to perform miracles. I'm saying that because I heard so many people when I talk about consumption, and they hear 9, sometimes 10 about an SUV, and for them it seems so much, like it's crazy. And I keep reminding them, guys, this is not a small car, this is all-wheel drive. This has about 200 horsepower. What do you expect this car to run on fumes like 2 liters per 100 kilometers? This is impossible. And when you compare a car, just make sure you're comparing it to its right opponent, in its right class. Because otherwise, yeah, I can say get a Polo, it's way more economical. Yeah, but it's not the same. See, I actually went to specs before even mentioning the options. Yeah, because I'm really tired. I just got back from a road trip and I'm very tired, and unfortunately I have to give this car back tomorrow, so I didn't have that much time to actually shoot the review. Options wise, you're gonna be pleased with this Lexus. You get everything you might want in a modern car. I'm not even getting into that, because you can basically get anything you might want. From heated to cool seats to a badass stereo, you can get whatever pleases you and whatever you think is a must in a modern car. Talking about driving experience, well, this car is Again, very nice to drive in town. You're not stressed by anything. It's the same on the highway. The car is quiet, the transmission is smooth, and when you'll get to your destination, you'll still be very relaxed, because this car is honestly so easy to drive that you won't have a worry in the world while you're getting to your job or whatever. Well, maybe not your job, depends on what job you have. So I was mentioning driving experience, and this car, well, despite being pretty big, handles rather well. The all-wheel drive system grips well, but I don't think this car would be the best off-roader you can buy. If you want to buy an SUV that can do city and off-roading, I'd rather go for a Land Rover or a Range Rover, something along these lines. Then again, I'm really curious to see how many of the customers that buy Lexus will actually go off-road in one of them. I did with the RX a bit. The tires were, well, crap for off-road, but besides that, it handled okay. I mean, I got out of a situation that was pretty nasty. It was basically about that deep inside mud, and I lost all grip, and it still got out. Well, not easy, but it got out, so in the end, it just did its job. So is this car worth buying instead of a BMW or a Land Rover or anything like that? Well, as I was saying, for off-road, no, but in general and for normal use, you know, going to work, going to you know, buy groceries and so on, so basic commutes, I think this car is good. And for one reason, it makes you, I mean, it feels more expensive than it actually is. And people will see it, especially in the interior and so on, and the way it drives, it's so smooth and it absorbs bumps so well, and it's such a pleasant experience that in the end the question is, would you sacrifice performance, off-road, or even like top speed and stuff like that for comfort and refinement? If I were to buy an SUV, I would, because I don't think SUVs are sports cars, so it's pointless to buy an SUV because it's faster. Yes, off-road, yeah, but don't buy this kind of SUV if you want to go off-road. Go for something that was made for off-roading, like a Wrangler, or you know, something that you can buy cheap and modify to your needs. In conclusion, this car is so comfortable, so refined, and so smooth to drive that it actually makes you forget that, well, it's not the fastest, no. It's not the most beautiful, clearly not, at least not in my opinion. And you get a certain level of luxury that, well, you can have in other brands, obviously, but you're gonna end up paying more, and who really wants to pay more for something that you can get for cheaper? You know, it gets harder and harder to review cars because they become increasingly more similar, and you know, basically every car has, you can get basically any option in any car, depending on the range and the model. So what it comes down to is, I guess, personal preference. I would go for a Lexus because I like them, because I've had great experiences in their cars, and none of them actually disappointed me yet, which happened with some other brands, sometimes due to interior quality, sometimes due to, you know, poor insulation, or just, I'm sorry to say, but crappy drivetrains. So yeah, it's all about you guys in the end, you know. I know this basically sounds like a commercial to Lexus, but it's not, and I just really like their products, and this one is basically as good as the others from what I can say. So my review: should you buy it? Yeah, if you're looking for a family SUV and you're into hybrids and you're just tired of diesels, if you're looking for one, then just go right ahead and test it and see for yourself if it fits your needs, if it's what you're looking for, and if not, well, don't buy it and just, you know, watch my other reviews to see if anything actually interests you. Alright guys, that's it for today. As usual, if you like this video, well, give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you thought about this car, or what you want to know that I maybe didn't mention in this review. You know, sometimes you forget stuff because when you drive different cars, sometimes, you know, the information just becomes obvious, some options or some features, and then you sometimes forget to mention them, and people come back to you like, does it have that, does that? I mean, you know, don't be afraid to interact and tell me if you need more information. I will gladly answer all your questions in the comments. And as usual, subscribe for more. It helps me, and I just basically word this to you know, be able to say stay tuned, you know, because well that's like a poor YouTuber joke, but anyhow, bye bye guys.